In the multi-billion-dollar consumer wellness market, reishi mushroom is highly sought after. Marketing campaigns often frame the fungus's fine brown dust as a magical essence, charging a premium price for powders made entirely of spores. But to a cultivation chemist, consumer marketing is disconnected from actual pharmacological value. In the laboratory, we ignore mystical claims and focus entirely on extraction yields and molecular behavior. When you test the bold promises printed on a supplement label against what human cells can actually absorb, from a spoonful of raw spores, the numbers collapse. This matrix outlines the 3 strict laboratory metrics required to accurately evaluate a fungal product: absolute yield mass, chemical diversity, and processing stability. Applying these rigid parameters strips away the branding. Measuring the raw physical capability of the source material is the only reliable way to determine if a natural product provides actual medicinal efficacy. This chart compares physical mass. A standard bag yields up to 300 grams of fruiting body, but only 5 grams of spore dust. The mature cap synthesizes over 150 distinct Ganoderic acids, whereas spores contain only basic fatty acids, lacking this chemical diversity. The fundus directs over 95% of its total metabolic investment into constructing the fruiting body. Because it contains both the sheer mass and the highly specific medicinal compounds, the mature cap provides a mathematically superior profile for broad-spectrum therapeutic use. Even with a narrow chemical profile, we must test how naturally harvested spores interact with internal human enzymes to see if those ingredients can actually be absorbed. This diagram illustrates the sporoderm, the spore's microscopic, double-layered outer shield made of heavily cross-linked chitin and silica. When human digestive enzymes attempt to break this barrier, they fail completely. Unbroken spores pass through the gastrointestinal tract virtually unchanged, locking everything inside. Human biology cannot process heavily armored chitin or silica. Because of this natural biological armor, consuming raw, unbroken spores yields an absolute 0 bioavailability rating. To bypass the sporoderm, manufacturers employ an extreme industrial workaround. They run the raw dust through low-temperature air-jet mills, using violent mechanical force to physically crack the spore walls open. This high-velocity impact procedure introduces severe physical contamination risks. The impact plates and ball mills used to shatter the spores frequently shed metallic microdust. Elements like nickel, chromium, and iron are routinely found mixed into the final powder. This diagram shows the chemical consequence of cracking that shell. Once the wall is fractured, sealed lipids are directly exposed to atmospheric oxygen, causing rapid lipid peroxidation. Without expensive vacuum packaging, these free fatty acids degrade, turning rancid and destroying the delicate active compounds. The violent mechanical processing required to make spores digestible introduces heavy metals and triggers lipid degradation, eroding both the safety and the chemical stability of the final product. The physical limitations of the spore make perfect sense when you look at its evolutionary reality. It is simply a germ cell. Its biological task is to store fat and genetic data until it is ready to reproduce. The mature fruiting body evolved to do something entirely different. The fungus builds this structure as a comprehensive defense matrix, packing it with complex compounds to actively protect the living organism from environmental pathogens. We can easily isolate these targeted defense compounds directly from the mature fruiting body using standard laboratory techniques like hot water decoction and ethanolic reflux extraction. Because the fruiting body consists of soft hyphal chitin, these traditional extractions work smoothly. They bypass the need for heavy metal-inducing mechanical destruction and avoid the risk of lipid degradation altogether. Processing the whole fruiting body captures an uncompromised, broad-spectrum profile of active ingredients. When we evaluate natural medicine through strict chemistry and extraction yields, the laboratory data confirms that the mature mushroom is the definitive source for clinical application, outperforming the marketing myths surrounding the spore.